science stream so as to strengthen and expand ideas of a research and development base in science and technology for the benefit of this nation and international scientific community. So, as you know, throughout the session, we tried always in all our session and in this session as well, our resource person both will try to give you an enriching and pleasant exposure of application of science, especially in forensic sciences in day-to-day life, also about the eminent people, scientists, Nobel laureates who have worked in this field and made the life better and ultimately changed the life in this earth surface. So, dear colleague, as it is a very well-known proverb, if we have to make an apple pie from the scratch, you must first invent the inverse. So usually we all are working in this field, in the field of science and technology. So we always tell stories to make sense of things. It's in our blood and bone. So therefore, you are going to attend this 5th session. That is one of a core branch of science. You might be knowing that the birth of modern science history is back in the 17th century. The modern science was really born and the world began to be examined more closely using instruments such as a telescope, microscope, clock, and barometers, etc. It was also at this time that a scientific laws started to be put forward for such phenomenon as a gravity and the way that the volume, pressure, temperature of a gas are related. In the 18th century, much of basic biological sciences and chemistry was developed as a part of Age of Enlightenment. So, and in the 19th century saw actually some of the great names of science. People like the chemist, like John Dalton, who developed the atomic theory of matter, Michael Faraday, and James Maxwell, who both put forward theories concerning electricity and magnetism. Based on that, we have the modern science and technology, especially electrical or electronics engineering. Then Charles Darwin, who proposed the controversial theory of evolution. Each of these developments forced actually the scientists radically to re-examine their views of the way in which the world worked upon. The last century brought discoveries such as relativity and quantum mechanics, which again required scientists to look at things in a completely different ways. It makes you wonder what iconoclastic discoveries of this century will be. So now, leading to this session, we have two speakers, namely Dr. Niharika Srivastava and Ms. Ruby Kumari, and both will give a deep insight about the forensic expert and emerging and flourishing future. And particularly this session will focus or deliver justice and stay protected, being defrauded from increased rate of crime now worldwide. A degree in forensic science with the capacity in providing scientific aid to solve crime offers most promising career opportunities. There are different areas of forensic sciences in which the specialized person can get opportunities and can provide their service to the society. The webinar will provide an insight of job opportunities, career prospects in government organization, semi-government or a private sector institutions at a various level after undergraduate, postgraduate or a diploma or a PhD nationally or internationally. You might be aware that many job possibilities are in a various field of government organizations such as Supreme Court, High Court, or a forensic. Every state has a forensic laboratories and or a television or a cinema or in a hospital. Everywhere we need a forensic expert to examine the factual information or assumption. So prior starting the session, I would like to give you a brief introduction of our both the learned faculty members who will conduct this session. First, I would like to speak about Dr. Niharika Srivastava. She is actually heading the Forensic Science Department at the School of Basic and Applied Sciences at GD Goenka University. She is an expert in the area of forensic medicine, forensic botany, and forensic biology. Dr. Srivastava served as an assistant professor at Galgodia University as well prior to her current assignment. She holds a PhD from University of Allahabad, which is really very much well known. Now the name turned as a Prayagraj, so University of Prayagraj, with a silver medal in MSc Forensic Sciences. She is involved in teaching UG and PG, PhD courses, various courses for forensic students share. Our another speaker of this session is Ms. Ruby Kumari. She is an assistant professor working at a School of Basic and Applied Sciences. She has obtained degree from Lok Nayak Jayaprakash Narayan Central Forensic Laboratory at New Delhi. It is one of the most prominent laboratory of this country, belongs to the forensic sciences. So, and Miss Ruby is engaged in teaching at a various capacity in a UG, PG programs or diploma programs. So I hereby invite both of enlightened faculty members who are actually the resource person to start the session. And for all the attendees, I may kindly request to go through the session very carefully. As I said in the beginning, this complete series we have designed to navigate our student, our young ignited mind, to give them overview about what is the possibility in a science, why we need to study science, which kind of the student understands science. After studying science, what you will get, which kind of the job prospect, future prospect you will have, how the life will be, what could be the salary structure, and so on, how the professional life of a forensic scientist would be. So now both of our faculty members are going to give you the detailed information along with what we are doing at School of Basic and Applied Sciences. They will also focus over there. And after the session, we will open this session for interaction, one-to-one interaction. If you have any question related to the forensic science, career placement, job prospects, future prospect, nationally, internationally, we all are here to rectify your doubts, answer your question. So, however, in this context, I may request all the attendees, if you have any question pertaining to any slide or just your own query about the forensic sciences, you can just drop the right question in the chat box. We have a few learned faculty members deputed for, and they will note down your question at the end of the session. When we will open the session, they will ask your question on your behalf, or we will ask you to unmute your mic and ask the question. So till then, I may kindly request you to listen very patiently as you did in the last 4 sessions. Thank you so much indeed. And now I would like to invite both the speakers to start the session one after another. Thank you so much indeed. Dr. Niharika Srivastava, please.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the generous introduction. So I start presenting my slides.
Great.
Is it visible to everyone?
Yeah, just expand your slide on a full screen.
So now it is full screen.
Yeah, good. Yes. Please go on.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. A very good evening to all my colleagues, Dean Sir, and the students present. Forensic expert, an emerging and flourishing future. If you want to live in a civil society or want to make the society a civil place to live in, this session especially with your efforts, this session certainly belongs to you. I consider the audience includes 12th class students, graduation and post-graduation students. So considering the students of every age, I start with the very basics of forensic science. What forensic science is? So forensic science is basically the science which emerges using the application of different sciences. It might be physics, chemistry, biology, or any other science which application we use in solving the crime in criminal and civil laws. Criminal laws are those which seek the punishment for offences, while civil laws are those which seek for the reimbursement. What are forensic experts? Forensic experts are those persons who use their knowledge and experience to give the testimony at a dispute resolution trial using their experience. Physical evidences. Physical evidences are those articles or things which you get at a crime scene, and it helps to correlate a relationship between the crime and offender and a victim. They give the story of the crime. If we broadly divide the applications of forensic science in different area of science, we can broadly divide it in three parts. One is medical, another laboratory, and the last one is field sciences. The application of forensic science in medical field belongs to forensic pathology, psychiatry, psychology, forensic medicine, and odontology. The application of forensic science in laboratory includes the studies like chemistry, biology, toxicology, serology, ballistics, fingerprints, and document analysis. While in case of field sciences, we do study like crime scene investigation, cases like arson, and cases like explosions. I would like to give you a brief introduction of the persons who made a big difference in the history of forensic science. First is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Movies of Sherlock Holmes. But to much of your disappointment, Sherlock Holmes is neither the author nor he created his profile or portrays himself. It is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle who owns his authorship. In fact, in his very important fictional work, A Study in Scarlet, which was published in 1887, Sir Doyle first time introduced the deduction in regards to crime scene reconstruction and criminal profiling. He was the one who mentioned the use of serology, ballistics, fingerprint, and document examination in his novels. He was the one who, because of whose novels, people started taking interest in scientific investigative methods of crime solving. Those methods were not implemented then, but it is to our surprise that those methods which were mentioned by him in those eras, now these methods are being used in the present time to solve the crime. Next is Sir Alphonse Bertillon. Sir Alphonse Bertillon used to take the physical measurements, photographs, and used to keep the record. Like these days we keep record in computers of DNA fingerprinting or every kind of record. Similarly, he used to keep the record of physical measurements. And he used to make a card, and by the name of the person, he used to record all those information. That card is known as Bertillon card, and the system is known as Bertillon system or anthropometry. He became the first forensic expert in the history of forensic science, and his method of anthropometry became the first scientific method used by the police to identify the criminals. If one wants to pursue a degree in forensic science, what are the available courses with their eligibility? It is BSc Forensic Science, which is a graduation degree. To get a degree in BSc Forensic Science, students must have passed a 12th class examination with minimum 60% of marks in aggregate, and the subject might be physics, chemistry, maths, biology at 12th level or any of the related subjects. Depending on the norms of university, students may have to appear in some aptitude test or personal interview. In MSc Forensic Science, which requires a graduation degree in physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, microbiology, pharmacy, BDS, applied sciences, or in any of the appropriate disciplines from a recognized university. Similarly, like in case of BSc Forensic Science, students may have to appear in some aptitude or personal interview. To pursue PhD in Forensic Science, a student must have a master's degree in relevant field. What are the skills required to be an efficient forensic investigator? First and foremost, it is the knowledge of various fields of science. As I already mentioned that forensic science uses the application from different branches of science, so it is very much mandatory that a forensic expert must have knowledge from various fields of science. He should be technically skilled. No need to mention that these days criminals use very highly sophisticated techniques to commit the crime. So it is necessary that person should be technically skilled, have strong analytical skills. Persons who are doing tests or experiments in laboratory, it is very essential that they should have strong analytical skills. Obviously, they should be intelligent and should have key observatory skills, which is a key skill required to be an efficient forensic expert. If one wants to pursue a degree in forensic science, what are the courses he or she has to go through? I would try to summarize, give a brief introduction of the courses so that you can have a better understanding of this subject, of this course. First is Introduction to Forensic Science. This course includes the structure of laboratory of a forensic science laboratory, what are the different departments and what kind of work they serve. Principles of forensic science, basically what are the principles of forensic science which makes the basis of identification. The importance of forensic science, what is crime scene, what are physical evidences, what are their types, their examples, and how they are useful in reaching to a conclusion. Introduction to Criminology. In this course, we study what is criminal behavior, their modus operandi, their pattern of working, their society and laws concerned with. Next is Forensic Biology, in which we study biological samples. For example, here, merely analyzing a hair sample, we can predict that whether this belongs to a human or animal. Sometimes this hair sample can provide the information of the race. Sometimes it also provides that a particular crime or assault has happened. Analysis of fibers. A fiber from clothing may prove the crime has happened and it can correlate it to the perpetrator. Anthropometry, which I already mentioned. Entomology. Study of insects can provide valuable information that time since death, how much time it has taken that the person is dead. Forensic Botany, different parts from plants, for example, pollen grains, leaves, seeds, they may provide valuable information in proving of crime and correlating it with the crime scene. Forensic Ballistics. Forensic Ballistics is the science where we study different types of firearm, revolver, pistol, their kinds, and what kind of ammunition projectile is being used, their distance from where the bullet was shot. This kind of study we do under Forensic Ballistics. Next is Forensic Serology. Forensic serology includes the study of blood, semen, saliva, fingerprint and other impressions. Fingerprint being the most abundant physical evidence. It is most likely to be present at a crime scene and helps to correlate the victim, offender and crime scene. Forensic Chemistry, it includes the analysis of alcohol, different acts like NDPS or drug acts, and analysis of different substances. It includes under Forensic Chemistry. Document analysis. A crime does not always include that there should be some murder, some blood, some revolver. A simple forgery occurred on a piece of paper, a fake signature, also contributes to crime. So handwriting examination, signature examination, analysis of paper, analysis of ink, these all things we study under document analysis. Next is DNA fingerprinting, the most advanced technique. We use this technique to establish the identity of person. Next is forensic medicine. In this science, we study mode of death. If a case appears to be of suicide, whether it is actually suicide or someone has committed the murder and disguising it as a suicide. What was the cause of death? Whether the person was murdered using some weapon or he was simply strangulated. Time since death, what was the time when person was exactly dead? There is a possibility that body was recovered after 4 to 5 hours. So postmortem report may reveal that what was the actual time when person was dead. Toxicology. Toxicology includes the study of various poison, their mode of action, their analysis, their testing. Explosive includes study of different explosives and their testing. Forensic physics, which includes the study of soil, paint, glass fragments, and different kind of instruments. Computer and cyber forensics. It is obvious that we all know that these days crimes use highly sophisticated techniques to commit the crime, like computer and cyber forensics. Career opportunities. It is really unfortunate that the crime in the society is unstoppable. In fact, it is increasing day by day. It won't be wrong if I say every crime these days use a new technology and technique, thereby making it obvious to find new ways for the forensic expert. This provides endless opportunities for them, for professionals who are trained and are ready to play their role as forensic experts. This is the broad idea. I'm just telling you the streams where you can find your career, though this portion will be covered by my colleague. Career in forensic science laboratory, career in industry, career in education, in research and development. There are various entrepreneurship related to forensic science. You can be detective, consultant. You can apply in different government and private agencies, like CID. You can be a document examiner, forensic engineering. Even the times of COVID, this is the most significant science. Cyber and e-fraud and in wildlife forensics. Now comes the salary. This is the most obvious part, that if you pursue a degree in forensic science, what could be the possible salary that you might be getting. A number of vacancies are available in government sectors and they pay following their pay scale. Even if you get a job which is on non-permanent basis, at ad hoc basis, it starts from 35,000 onwards. And if it is permanent based, they pay accordingly. In private sectors, it totally depends on the qualification you have and the experience you have. Enterprises. There is no limit of income for those who are in their own enterprises. Here at GT Goenka University, we offer degree in forensic science. The available courses are BSc Honours Forensic Science, which is a graduation degree, comprises of 6 semesters. A student, in order to get a degree in BSc Honours Forensic Science, must obtain 138 credits. MSc Forensic Science, which is 2-year degree course and comprises of 2 semesters, a student must have 84 credits to complete the course. We offer PhD in Forensic Science, and we also offer PG Diploma in Criminology, which is 1-year course with 2 semesters, and a student must get 45 credits in order to complete the course. We offer PhD in Forensic Science in different domains like toxicology, forensic chemistry, fingerprint, serology, forensic biology, explosives, document analysis, and many more. I would like to give a brief introduction of the faculties in Department of Forensic Science. Professor R.K. Thakur sir is Dean, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, under which the Department of Forensic Science runs. No need to mention that sir has received his master's and PhD degree from renowned institutions of Italy, Germany, and USA. That's me. Sir already has introduced me. I've done PhD from University of Allahabad and done my master's in forensic science from Schwartz, Allahabad. My area of specialization is forensic biology, forensic botany, and toxicology. Next is Mr. Baljeet Yadav. Sir is assistant professor in the department. He has submitted his PhD from Bundelkhand University and has done his post-graduation in forensic science from Institute of Forensic Science and Criminology, Bundelkhand University, Jhansi. Sir's area of specialization is forensic toxicology and forensic botany. Next is Miss Ruby Kumari. Ma'am is assistant professor in the department and she is pursuing her PhD from the GT Goenka University itself. She has done her post-graduation from NLJN, National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science, New Delhi. Her area of specialization is question document and fingerprint. Next is Ms. Priya Sharma. Ma'am is lecturer at the department. She has completed her post-graduation in forensic science from Punjabi University, Patiala, and her area of specialization is question document and fingerprint. Ms. Mala Bharti, she is lecturer in the department and she has completed her post-graduation in forensic science from University of Delhi, and her area of specialization is forensic biology and anthropology. As I already mentioned, that forensic science is the science which emerges from different branches of science. Its experiment cannot be restricted to laboratories only. Here are some pictures of the students who are doing their experiment outdoors. In first picture, students are drawing the crime scene, and in the another one, they are measuring the skid mark in a hit and run case. The department is continuously engaged in providing student exposure with different eminent scientists by different activities like providing workshops, conferences, seminars, different guest lectures, and in this series we organize a national workshop strengthening criminal justice system using forensic tools. And the two eminent speakers were Dr. N.B. Bardhan, who is currently the director CBI CFSL Delhi, and Dr. A.K. Jaiswal, who is senior scientist, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, AIIMS, New Delhi. Sir delivered his lecture on alcohol analysis in drunken driving cases, and students get an hands-on exposure how to determine alcohol qualitatively and quantitatively. Students of MSc Forensic Science got an opportunity to visit AIIMS to witness a live post-mortem where they found the cause of unnatural death, and they also visited toxicology laboratory of the AIIMS. Students went to different universities to attend the conferences as well, and they visited forensic headquarters, Himachal Pradesh. With utmost pride, I would like to name few of our students with their achievement. Kanishk, who did his bachelor's from GT Goenka University only, and he was selected through campus placement in Byju's and Skoogles, though he chose to continue his further studies, and right now he is doing masters in forensic science from GT Goenka University. Next is Jagrati, who is intern at Cyber Cell at Haryana Police, with Haryana Police. Next is Shivam, who is in the tough times of pandemic, he applied for the online internship through CSIR, and when IITR Lucknow released their first list of selected candidates, which was based on the personal interview, Shivam stood first. Next is Smriti, who qualified as January 2020, and now she is looking for her master's degree. She is planning to pursue it overseas. Next is Joshita, who is intern at FSL Madhuban, Haryana. GT Goenka University not only provides the Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. GT Goenka University not only provides the opportunities in academics only, in fact, it provides the platform to students to excel in their area of interest. Ritu, who is a student of Bachelor's Forensic Science, she is member of sports club and plays judo. Next is Kanish, who is a blogger. He writes blogs on forensic science. Insha, who is a member of editorial board, Anjali, who is a member of dance club and is well known among her friends for her dancing. Next is Rishabh, who is again a member of editorial board. Now I would request my colleague Ms. Ruby to give students an insight of the different examination or different platforms where they can actually apply in point of getting a job. Ruby ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening, all of you. From now onwards, I'll focus most on career opportunities of forensic science, as ma'am has already told you about various aspects of forensic science and various programs of forensic science. Before starting about the career opportunities, I would like to say one word that forensic science is a passion to me, and to it should be a passion to all people outside there who want to take their career in forensic science. So this is the first word. Passion is very important. So we'll start with what are the career opportunities in and different exams in and different government and private opportunities that we are having now in India and abroad. Ma'am, please next slide. Niharika ma'am. Yeah. So, as I have to start a career, like mostly what happens forensic science is a field work and definitely a challenging work. In India, we are having basically different types of forensic science laboratories that our Dean sir has also focused. So in laboratory, if you want to achieve, if you want to have career in forensic science laboratories, you should know there are different types of laboratories in India, forensic science laboratories in India. So basically, we are having Central Forensic Science Laboratories. We have 7 central forensic science laboratories in India. These are Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Chandigarh, Bhopal, Guwahati, and Pune. So these last three, Bhopal, Guwahati, and Pune, are the new addition to the Central Forensic Science Laboratories. So, and other, we are having all the state forensic science laboratories. Nowadays, we are also having many regional forensic science laboratories and mobile forensic science laboratories and other private labs also that we are having. So as a career in labs, as you can see here, I have mentioned some of them. If you have the list increases if you have a greater qualification and experience. So if you are a graduate in BSc Forensic Science, you would be able to work in these laboratories, forensic science laboratories, as lab assistant or lab technician. You will be able to work as forensic investigator and chemical examiners also. Since ma'am has already explained the salary setup, as these are some of the government organization, so definitely the salary setup and the way of living standard would definitely increase. You will get the job satisfaction there. Uh, Moving on, if you have a master's degree and a PhD degree and support and experience are also there in forensic science, so you will be able to have posts like scientific assistants, scientific officers, and also you will be able to have as a scientist post. Most of the people are unaware that UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, conducts or provides recruitment in as a scientist post and also a scientific officer as scientific assistant whenever required, and people do not get such information, and the post go on. So you have to be very careful when these recruitment comes. So you can be a scientist in a specialized field like forensic biology, forensic chemistry, whenever the post accordingly comes. Apart from that, most of you would be aware that the forensic science lab will provide recruitment. But there are some nodal agencies also who under which some of the labs are there. For example, if I talk about Delhi Forensic Science Laboratory, so there is DSSSP. So DSSSP is basically a nodal agency that also conducts other exams like teaching and related. So most of the people get confused that okay, DSSSP has given recruitment, so it would be regarding TG, PGT or TGT. But it's not like that. You should focus what other types of recruitment they are placing. So DSSSP has also in March only this year they have around more than 150 vacancies they have opening for different lab assistants, for scientific assistants, scientific officers, depending upon the qualification, eligibility, and the degree. Ma'am, please next. Niharika, ma'am. Next.
Ma'am, I've shifted.
Next,
I've
ma'am,
made
please.
this slide to next.
Next,
Okay.
ma'am, please. Nonetheless, as previously I told you about the forensic science laboratories. Previous slide, ma'am. NCRP and all. Okay, so these are the not forensic science laboratory, ma'am. IB and CBI. Yes, thank you so much. So another aspect is that some of the list of organizations are Intelligence Bureau, wherein you can apply, Central Bureau of Investigation. These two organizations are most important organizations for the national security and investigation purpose. They do conduct common entrance exams also, and wherein you have to give common entrance exam, and then you will be selected and you will work accordingly. The work culture is definitely very different because you know you will contribute in the intelligence, the security, in the investigation to your country. So that feels very proud to be the part of such organization. In Central Bureau of Investigation, you can apply for sub-inspector post. You have to give the exams, as I said, and there are departmental level promotions also happens, and examination also happens. Nonetheless, you always have police department around you, as the crime has increased so much. So police would require the expert and the expertise of these experts to solve crimes. I would say that there are now almost all the police stations in India that are having a cyber cell department in it. Because you see, ma'am has already said that the crime has increased so much, online frauds and online crimes are there. So we require such type of professionals to help police department. Next, you can apply for as a forensic consultant. Okay, Directorate of Forensic Science is a nodal agency in India that controls all the central forensic science laboratories except Delhi Central Forensic Science Laboratories. In regard, the Delhi Central Forensic Science Laboratories is under CBI. So Directorate of Forensic Science also have recruitment for forensic consultant. Therein, you might require, you should have some experience and master's degree to get into such type of job. That's a very good job, and if someone eligible right now can look for that, the vacancy is still on, still going on. Okay. And if I would not talk about National Investigation Agency, then that would not fair for me to make you understand what National Investigating Agency is. It is one of the most important investigating agencies in India. Okay, so this NIA, it also has so many recruitments, like it has recruitment for crime scene investigator, it has subject experts like forensic biologist, forensic chemist, forensic explosives, as a photographer, as a forensic psychologist, etc., etc. Depending upon their requirement, they do provide recruitment regarding the same. So you can search for these things, and you can definitely be able to get into these things. But one thing I would like to add here is that NIA does require some sort of experience, 1 or 2 year of experience. So if you have done your work as in forensic laboratories also, or in as a lab assistant also, and you have experience in that particular field, 1 or 2 year of experience, then you will be able to apply for and also be able to be selected. Nonetheless, there are many state public service commission that is also unknown to many of the forensic fraternity, that there are state public service commission wherein we have a different post for forensic people. They have sub-inspector post, especially for forensic science, and also recently in last year I have seen the Indian Railway government has also some sort of forensic fingerprint vacancy they had created for. So these things get unnoticed by the students. So I suppose after my talk, you will be able to look for these jobs also. So as a sub-inspector, like in Madhya Pradesh Public Service Commission, in Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, in Maharashtra Public Service Commission, they do provide recruitment, and they do have such type of things in it. Nonetheless, you have your drugs testing labs, because most of the forensic people are involved in forensic chemistry and toxicology. So they will be able to apply in drug testing labs like NDTLs and NADA, National Anti-Doping Agencies, wherein you will try to find out if some misinterpretation has been done in different types of drug. You can also work as a food inspector in different organizations. Ma'am, next please. Okay, so whatever I talked about right now, these were mostly the government agencies and the government organization wherein you can apply for, and you have to give test, eligibility test also to get eligible, and you have to pass the interview also. Okay, so but that's all because related to the forensic field. But it's not related to only a government organization. You can always expand the forensic science as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a private practice, or because there are a lot of crimes are being conducted, and definitely the cases are being piling up, and the government labs and the government labs are not able to, not, I'm not saying not able to, but there are a lot of cases which are still pending. So where the common people will go for like common things, like for civil cases, like for forgery, like for any type of forgery of documents and all those things. So you should have good opportunity as an entrepreneur or as a private practice as a forensic expert. Some of which I would suggest is you can start your consultancy services as a forensic expert. Some of them I know is JK Consultancy Services, International Forensic Science. It's an online platform which provides e-learning and e-certificates and training to different forensic experts and police also. Then you can always be an expert in fingerprints, private expert in fingerprints and handwriting analysis, because you see, this is one of the most important field, or one of the most important aspects of forensic science, wherein you do not require that much, you can say, laboratory equipments and many more things which would require a lot of monetary problem. So you will be able to have certain like computer softwares, some knowledge of good knowledge of handwriting and fingerprint analysis, and you will be able to start your private practice as at least as a forensic document examiner. Now, legal counselors, yes, definitely, because forensic science is related to aid the law enforcement agencies, to help the law enforcement agencies. They would require you in as a you can say as a counselor, as a private lawyer can also hire you as a counselor. You can be used as you can be used as an expert in in courts, different courts also. As a legal counselor, you can definitely help the lawyer in finding out the truth behind the crime through your forensic knowledge and the scientific principles. Also, you can apply in Quality Control Bureau. Quality Control Bureau is basically you can quality of laboratories. You can apply for certain bureau also. So there, what generally they require some certification of quality management also. So in GD Goenka University also we are having the programs in BSc and MSc in forensic science, and we are also providing this course in quality management and evidence evaluation. So that would be good if you have, if you can, or if you want to go in Quality Control Bureau, you have this thing. Nonetheless, you have your insurance and banks always there, okay, and there are lot many companies which are always there that requires definitely some false claims, some false forgery. For example, insurance people do claim do the false claims. So who will be able to find out such claims? So as a forensic expert, you would be very helpful to such companies. In banks, there are a lot of cases of check bouncing, check forgery, forged documents, and forged documents and all, handwriting, forged handwriting and all. So, or you can say counterfeited currency, counterfeited banknotes. Some of might submit counterfeited banknotes. So, as a forensic expert, you would be definitely helpful in such organizations in finding out the truth behind the crime. Another thing I would like to add here is due diligence. Most of the people are definitely not aware of due diligence, but as a forensic expert, most of the private companies, they first do their due diligence in order to get in a contract, or in order to get in you can say partnership with any people or any organization. So they need to find out the person or the organization they are trying to interact with. Are they false people, or are they genuine people or not, or are they genuine organization or not? So in that case, there is a background check of all those people, everything, where they belong to, if a particular company is there, where they are listed in the Company Act or not, where they are existing or not, whether any false claim or any case against those company or not. So these things, for these things, you can definitely apply your forensic and investigative mind there. You can apply for those companies here. Okay, so some of the entrepreneurs or the private practitioners I would like to here add is, nowadays in India is having SIF, Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science, Clue for Evidence. Truth labs are there, the private labs existing since many times. Another is Legal Desire and Media Insights is one of the flourishing, you can say, practice in India nowadays. Next, ma'am. Ma'am, next slide, please. Okay, so already it's a very yes, ma'am. So very emerging like aspect of forensic science. Everybody talks about, and they are more of them are fascinated about the computer forensics, cyber forensics, electronic crimes. Definitely, why not? Because such types of crimes are being committed throughout the country, throughout the world, and the professionals are on high demand in these types of solving in these types of crimes. So as a forensic computer forensic expert, you will be able to find out, like you will be able to help the investigating officers in finding out the criminals who are the perpetrators who are behind commission of online crimes, online frauds. So mostly what happens that whatever the devices you get, electronic devices you get, the forensic expert professional can do the extraction and analysis of digital evidence, like the electronic, like the computer, like the USB drives. And please make note that you would be thinking that you are deleting each and everything, and you are cleaning each and everything, formatting each and everything from your device after commission of crime. No, it's not, definitely not. if it goes into the hand of computer forensics or the cyber forensic expert, you definitely will be nabbed out. So please don't think of doing cyber crime, or you will be, or you also be caught under the IT Act. So please do not do such types of crimes, because forensic professionals are still there to nab you down there. So as a like forensic expert, they will work as a computer forensic investigator, computer forensic technicians, digital forensic specialist, and analyst, etc. Next, ma'am. Okay, so one of the most important part I would like to focus here is the examinations. So one of the most important career prospects for forensic science examinations, if you want to opt your career in labs, and if you want to work in labs properly, this exam, one of the exams is Facts and Facts Plus. It was basically introduced by National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science in 2018 as a forensic aptitude and caliber test. It is mostly for masters in forensic science. It is a screening test to qualify for the recruitment in FSS. So it's basically, yes, definitely it's a qualifying criteria. Whenever you pass this exam, the results and the score of this exam would be would act as a qualifying criteria whenever any recruitment in Central Forensic Science Laboratories or Forensic Science Laboratory comes. Recently, in the previous only after the result of this Fact and Fact Plus in 2019, only many of the Central Forensic Science Laboratories had their, you can say, they had given vacancies on contract basis. Even on the contract basis, you are having a good amount of salary, like they were given more than 35,000 salary in hand. And that is well and good for a current startup. And also you are getting the experience of working in central and government forensic science laboratories. So these were some of the examinations, but it's not related to only field work that you are going to do, or lab work that you are going to do. Definitely, you can also pursue your career in teaching and research. That is also very much important part of the forensic science, wherein we do require a lot of research. As the crime rates are increasing, types of crimes are increasing, we do require research in those fields also. So those who want to pursue their career, their higher studies, I suppose all of you might be knowing, but there are central UGC NET JRF examinations are being conducted, CSIR examination, and many reputed institutions or university examinations are being conducted. You can clear those exams. You can also have scholarship with those exams, and you can pursue your career, do your research, or also you can also work as a research assistant. After pursuing your PhD, definitely you will be able to work as a teacher or faculty member in your varied expertise in different institutions like NICFS, Punjabi University, Delhi University, many central universities, and also in many private institutions. You can also opt your career as teaching in international universities throughout the world. And definitely we are having a lot of collaborations internationally in GD Goenka universities, which can help you to do the same. Next, ma'am. Okay, so yes, international opportunities, some of them I would like to focus. There are many multinational companies. If you want to work as a fraud analyst, as a computer forensic analyst, as you can say forensic accounting, you are having a lot of many companies like EY, KPMG, PwC, etc. They recruit the forensic professionals, forensic experts who has good expertise in their field, and they are paid accordingly. I think some of the private companies, these companies are well and good multinational companies, and they pay a good amount of salary to their employees. Some of the positions they can opt for are like forensic incidents response, forensic investigation and compliance, etc., and also in R&D section of such types of you can say companies. Ma'am, next. So what I say ki there are a lot of opportunities there. There might be some limitations also in different fields. There are some limitations in different fields, but do not let your you can say skill and your understanding of your subjects, your passion in between those limitations. So you are having lot many things there in India. The forensic science is a growing field, and you will be having a lot of opportunities if you look for. I have explained, we and Niharika ma'am have explained some of only, you can say not only, but some broad areas where you can apply for. But again, you can definitely work on many things wherein you can get recruited and paid for accordingly. So why now I would like to focus on my university and our university. Why you would like to join GD Goenka University? So basically,
Excuse me,
as
ma'am.
yes, sir.
Ruby, ma'am, please go a little bit faster. We are already
Yeah,
running
sure,
late. Yeah, thank you.
sure, sure. Okay, so GD Goenka University is one of the higher education venture of GD Goenka Group, and it provides world-class education. And we are having leading faculty from leading institutions, and we provide a lot of student mobility programs through some internships also. Next, ma'am. So you will get scholarship program also here, depending upon the deserving candidate, and if economically backward, you will get the scholarship, and meritorious students also get the same. Next, ma'am. Next, ma'am, please. Oh, so these are what I talked about universities abroad we have collaborated with. These are the schools in GD Goenka universities. Ma'am, next. Next, ma'am, please. So at School of Basic and Applied Sciences, we have prominent faculty members here. Next, ma'am, please. As already explained yesterday by Dr. Anandita, there are a lot of interdisciplinary research going on at SOBA. Some of them are here, like DNA quantifications, supernova, etc. Ma'am, next, please. So these are the research projects under SOBA's state of lab here. So these are some of the existing programs. As SOBAS, we provide undergraduate programs as honors degree in chemistry, physics, mathematics, forensic science, microbiome, biochemistry, and biotechnology. And we are also having a BSc pass course with different combinations. We are having PG diploma in cosmetics, in criminology, data sciences, and many more. Also, we are having postgraduate degree in MS, in chemistry, physics, mathematics, forensic science, microbiome, biochemistry, biotechnology, data science and scientific computing, MS geology, wildlife, forestry, biophysics, environment science and management. And we are also having part-time and full-time PhD degrees in different disciplines and interdisciplinary projects. The best practice we do have mentor-mentee relationship. We have SIM login to interact with the students and their attendance. Next, ma'am. As a best practice, yes, definitely we have educational trips of students, conferences, faculty development programs, student development programs, workshop and symposiums. Also having distinguished expert lecture, one of the most important part, and practice school as already explained. Next, ma'am. So we were fortunate to have with us Dr. Kumar Krishnan, senior scientist from NASA, who delivered a wonderful talk and shared his experience. Next, ma'am. Some of the pictures of the same, explaining to the students. We have distinguished lecture by Professor P.B. Sharma, the founder vice chancellor of Delhi Technical University, and currently he is OVC at Amity University, Manesar. Next, ma'am. Another distinguished lecture by Dr. A.K. Aswal, Director NPL, National Physical Laboratory. Next, ma'am. Another expert talk by a biologist, Dean School of Earth, Biological and Environment Science from Central University of South Bihar. Next, ma'am. Some of the entrepreneurship career opportunities and student development programs we are having in GD Goenka universities. Ma'am, next. The educational visit to NPL, National Physical Laboratory. Next, ma'am. Another industrial visit to International University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, and Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Next, ma'am. Yes, another educational trip to Acharya Narendra Dev College, Delhi University. You can see here. Next, ma'am. Visit of students to Anveshna Science Camp, Science and Engineering Camp. We are also being partnered in National Online Conference, and many of our faculty members were awarded in this conference also. Next, ma'am. Yes, International Conference on Sustainable Cities and Communities we have conducted in GD Goenka University. Ma'am, next. These are some of the pictures of World Environment Summit where Dr. Praveen Kumar of our department got award for young scientist in his respective field. Another conference here where our Dean sir got awarded with Green Tech Asia Award. Next, ma'am. Here another industrial visit to Chemia Biosciences where the students of chemistry visited here. Another you can say thing that plantation drive we had here. Here students planted trees, saplings. Next. We also have different outreach programs at GD Goenka universities, like we are having School Connect program, teaching programs for children in rural areas, blood donation camps. We do organize lectures at various lectures and workshops at various schools. Also invite school students to our campus. So these are some of the pictures. Are one of the faculties visited GD Goenka schools. Another, please, ma'am. Here, another faculty visited GD Goenka Public School in Greater Noida. Another outreach programs wherein faculty visited some of these schools and interacted with students. Next. Here, our faculty visited some of the government schools wherein interacted with those students, and students from other schools as a school connected program visited GD Goenka University and labs. Next, ma'am. Another visit of a student from Dronacharya College, Gurgaon. Another part of School Connect program. Next, ma'am. We also had a DST inspired camp, and the most important thing, best practice we are following is training and placement. The GD Goenka universities definitely look for or establish a link between academic programs and suitable employment options for students, and students also go for you can say internships for 6 months in or major project internships and training in various institutions like in MAS, AIMS, STIFR, CSI laboratories. BARC, Delhi University, Sun Pharma, etc., etc. Next, ma'am. So these are some of the companies wherein our students got placed with, and these are some our students of School of Basic and Applied Sciences which were placed last year. Okay. So these are some of the web links of our university website, Facebook homepage, and Instagram homepage. For more information, please visit these pages. And thank you so much for lending your ears to this session. Thank you so much. We are open for any type of questions if there. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Niharika and Ms. Ruby, for such a enlightening and fruitful discussion talk about forensic science and future prospect opportunities in the domain of forensic sciences. So thank you so much. And now we open the session for interaction, for questions. So may I request Dr. Kamble? Dr. Kamble,
Yes, sir.
do we have questions from the
Sir,
audience?
there is no question as such, but if anyone has any question, you can ask one by one after
So there is a
unmuting your
question
mic.
in chat box.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you read it, please? Yeah.
Yes, sir. There is a question by Sachin
Okay.
Dev Maipal. In DNA fingerprinting, is there a strict need in type of cells or any type is okay in case of paternity test? And is there a test for maternity like the paternity test?
Hello, Sachin. Yes, for DNA fingerprinting, we should be having the cells which have nucleus, because DNA is the primary thing which we need for DNA fingerprinting. Suppose if I talk of RBCs, as RBCs don't have nucleus, so they do not have DNA, we cannot consider RBC for DNA fingerprinting. So there should be some cells which have nucleus which can provide DNA. As far as maternity testing is concerned, yes, mitochondrial DNA is used for that purpose, for paternity testing from maternity side.
Okay. So we have another question.
No.
Dr. Chaudhary, could you read it?
Yes, I have read it. Question: which company in BSc Forensic Science should student apply, and what are the requirement? I think it's ASHMA, right? So ASHMA, as I explained you, at BSc level, you can definitely apply in most of the private companies and labs. Private labs wherein if they require some quality in quality control bureau, you can also apply. You can also apply as a laboratory technician, and expertise in, if you have a fraud and expertise in fraud analytics, you have expertise in cyber forensic even at BSc level, then you will definitely be able to apply for. You can also apply for like in our college only, one of your seniors got selected in Byju's and Scoogle. You can apply for that position also. Okay.
Good. Any more question? I think I can't. Did you go through? Yeah,
There's
there's
one more question.
Aditya Bal.
Yes, ma'am, can you
Yeah.
brief about forensic psychology and forensic testing briefly?
Dr. Chaudhary,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Niharika ma'am, will you explain this question, or should I?
Yes, forensic psycho. Can you briefly explain about forensic psychology? Yes, Aditya, psychology basically relates to the mental behavior. How this somehow relates to modus operandi, how the criminal or the person thinks, what is the modus operandi, how it correlates with the crime. This kind of study can be done in forensic psychology. This is as far as psychology is concerned. if we can use this application of psychology in solving the crime, it is basically forensic psychology.
Okay, and I think there is another question as well.
There is one more question. Can you briefly explain about forensic testing, forensic psychology? It is done.
Electrical guru.
Psychology again.
Forensic testing
Forensic
and forensic
testing.
psychology, and colleges for forensic psychology.
Okay.
If there is any college.
Okay, so ma'am, I'll explain this question about
sure.
forensic testing. So again, forensic testing can only happen in labs. So if you are working in lab, forensic science laboratories, or in any private labs, you will get your evidence from the crime scene to your lab, and you will be able to do the chemical or analytical testing whenever required for a particular type of evidence. So the testing would done in lab only, depending upon the type of evidence. Next question I would like to answer is where we can apply for forensic psychology. There are a lot of institutions in India, like in GD Goenka University. Definitely, we are not having forensic psychology right now, but you can definitely apply for like Gujarat Forensic Science University if you are interested, and many central universities are there. You can search for. So mostly Gujarat Forensic Science University and Raksha Shakti universities are there. You can search for forensic psychology.
And also, could you read some questions on chat box? There are also still some questions.
There are question. Can we apply for CBI after graduation? Is the first question.
Okay, so Shivani Sharma, yes, you can apply, but there is as I already explained you, there is an entrance exam you have to clear, then only, and that is the graduation level exam. So you have to search for the entrance exam there. So that entrance exam is definitely for open for all subjects and forensic science also.
Thank you. There is one more question. In serology, can tears be used?
Niharika ma'am,
yes,
please.
Sachin Dev, you have asked for a very advanced technique of forensic science, serology. Yes, tears are being used. There are certain antigens which are present in tears which are being used for forensic analysis. But today, till now, it is very harsh. It will be very harsh to say any concrete results that how it is determined and what kind of results can be predicted using tears.
There is one more question which is outside of this this subject, that is what all kinds of opportunities are available for a postgraduate in physics.
Well, I think I can reply, Mr.
Yes,
Alex Biju. So, you know, this is the session for forensic sciences. So here, especially, we concentrate on forensic science related activities, even though I can tell you in short that in a physics, after having a postgraduate program, a degree in physics, you will have plenty of opportunities in a research institute, in an industry, and in a academic institution, especially in a school where there is a school science teacher required and their qualification is a master level. So also we have planned a session on physics education. I think it will be given by Dr. Sasikant Gupta maybe next week sometimes. I do not remember exactly. So you will be knowing after this session, or if you have a complete session series sessions, there you can find it, physics and astrophysics, and you can join that, and there you will get a very wide spectrum of information about the physics and related. Okay.
The session on physics will be on 30th of July. You can join it. Okay.
Good. So 30th of July, Dr. Kamble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
30. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think the candidate esteemed attendee by you, it is 30th of July. You can attend again at the same time, 4:30 to 5:30, and we will have a session. Resource person, Dr. Sasikant Gupta, is an associate professor and also heading the physics department. He has a PhD degree from IISc, Indian Institute of Science. He will give you the complete information, and also I will be there and some other colleagues who will give you all the information. Okay, good. Any more question?
So there are three more questions. What is the package of MSc Forensic graduate? Is the first question by Aditya.
Niharika ma'am.
Aditya, yeah, I'm giving the answer. Aditya, it totally depends on you whether you have any experience or just you are MSc in forensic science. It depends on your dedication, your knowledge, and your qualification. And if I talk of the minimum, it certainly starts from 35,000.
Okay. The next question is how forensic science is helpful in intelligence.
Okay, I would like
This is
to
all
answer.
about intelligence.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Ruby ma'am.
Forensic science is all about intelligence because in broader sense, if in literal sense you go to the meaning of intelligence, it is information. So in forensic science, we teach students also, and forensic science teach students about the different investigating techniques, intelligence techniques. So that would definitely be help in intelligence.
And the last question is the career opportunities in forensic chemistry.
A number,
Forensic
a
chemistry.
number of a number of opportunities are there in the explosives, in the alcohol analysis, in the drug testing. Ample of fields are there which require the knowledge of chemistry.
Any
So
more
I guess
questions?
there are no more questions. Niharika ma'am, can you type your email ID? If they have more questions, they can
Yeah.
reach out to you directly.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
I think that should have been on the transparency on the PPT. It was not there? Okay. Okay, so I think if there is a no more question, so let's thank once again both the speakers for their wonderful session. And
One question is there, sir, to me, that how forensic science is related to intelligence everywhere. But I couldn't understand.
Sir, basically,
Can you please?
I understood the question ki how it is related to intelligence. That is what you are asking, electrical Guruji, right?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Susanta Mandal, not electrical
Okay.
Guruji, ma'am.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. So basically, as already I have explained that it is basically regarding collection of information, and forensic science provide you a lot of techniques and lot of information how you are going to collect information. Okay, how you are going to be a detective also, and how which type of techniques you can use to collect information secretly also, and more. You can say fruitfully you can collect the information, and here you can mostly you can apply for as I told you in intelligence bureau their exams. They also take exams, common entrance exam like ACIO, assistant central intelligence officers. So there you can apply for, and then you can be selected if you have that much caliber regarding the same.
Hello, ma'am. I have a doubt. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, my pal.
In these latencies in films and some studies, I have seen that a poison named ricin, which is a seed, it can be processed and can be converted into a poison, which is surely not traceable. It could cause a flu or anything, something like that. So it will result as in a natural death. Not detectable. Is it detectable? The poison name is ricin.
Sorry, Sachin Dev, my pal, but your voice is coming so poor. I'm unable to understand the question.
Sachin, you can
I will
type the question in chat box, or else you can reach out to Dr. Niharika on her email ID. As we are running out of time, okay.
Oh, okay.
We can have more discussion.
You can call me personally.
Okay, ma'am. I don't have any number of yours.
Yeah, I have provided in the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we are really running out of time. It is going to be more than 1.5 hours. So we should wind up the session. Prior winding up the session, the first thing is we have to inform all the audience about the next session. Next session of this education, science education career counseling is on mathematics toward mathematical sciences, a promising career. You know, it is a very well-known fact for everyone that mathematics is one of the most powerful tool, one of the most important subject that one should understand. You know, so the session will be conducted by Dr. Renu Chaudhary. She is an assistant professor, graduated from IIT Roorkee, and the next session will be conducted on 25th of July. It is on Saturday. The same time, 4:30 to 5:30. I may kindly request all our esteemed attendees, the students, parents, to join that session. Also encourage, motivate your colleagues, your friends, your near and dears to join this session. We have designed all this session for you people who did not say make any say registration fee. It is all is a free, just for the societal benefit, for your benefit. Therefore, we do hope that next session you all will join this one, the mathematical science session, and get benefited out of that. Besides, at the end, I would like again to thank both the session resource person, Dr. Niharika Srivastav and Ms. Ruby Kumari, for your talk. And also I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kamble, Sasank Shivaji Kamble, the coordinator of this series. You are organizing very nicely, Dr. Kamble. Thank you so much for your effort. We must appreciate all this effort for the societal benefit. Besides, I also thank other coordinators for this program, like Dr. Renu Chaudhary, Dr. Sonika Sethi, and other learned faculty members who are providing support for a smooth conduction of this series, one after another. So far, we have organized 5 sessions due to all your effort or all your support and all the support from our very gentle and say intelligent attendees, students. Thank you so much once again. Thank you all the faculty members. Thank you all, everyone. I wish you a nice and wonderful evening. Thank you. We will see on the next session Saturday for a mathematical sciences. Till then, take very good care of yourself and your family. Stay safe. Stay home. I need your permission.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.